Okay, do you all have the book?
Wait, sir, I will take 1 minute. Give me.
Yeah. Hi, Vignesh.
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Do you have the book?
Sir, no, sir. PDF is not shared in the group.
PDF is shared in the group.
I sent it quite some time back, Vignesh. I'll send it again. Just give me a minute.
I'll
No,
add it here only. I'll add
No,
it.
no, no. You are in the group with the readers. I put it in the students group.
I'll put it on the Zoom chat only where we are here.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
Yeah. Would have come.
Yeah, ma'am. I found it in the group, ma'am.
Okay, good, 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 good.
Sir.
Let me know when you all are ready and we can start.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, these are the new students?
Yes, yes. These are the new students.
Okay.
So we'll share it in we've shared the other one also, but none of the old students are coming.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, the option has been given to them.
Right,
They're
right.
free to make a choice.
No, no, 100%. No, I just wanted to know so then accordingly we can.
Yeah, yeah. So how was the event in the college, Vineet?
Very good. I was very impressed by the college. I was very
Mm-hmm.
impressed by the principal. He's very enthusiastic. He said that he told all the organizations, you bring us the problem statements, we will provide you solutions for it. So he's like,
Oh,
what is the problem you have? You bring us the problem statement. So some are in health, people are in different fields. Some are in,
of course.
ability, some are in nutrition, some are in waste management. So they are like, you bring us the issues, we will give you solutions for it. We are ready to do an investment also if required for the research and development of it. And he was as excited that we'll file patents if we do to that level of technology and all that.
Hmm.
So the principal
Interesting.
showed a lot of interest. And from the value standpoint, what I really liked is he said that kids today, no, they are not aware of the ground reality which is there. They're kind of in their own world and maybe in the social media world. But
Mm-hmm.
what actually the ground reality, they are not in touch with that. So he wants them to connect with NGOs, with social service organizations, and connect with the truth of India, which is a more on ground reality. He said they are not sometimes aware of the reality in which their parents are in also.
Yeah.
He's like basically just bring them a little bit to ground so they
Mm-hmm.
work effectively for society. And I said that's a really good thought. I mean, they will get the skills because classroom teaching is not enough. Which principal will say classroom teaching is not enough? You have to go out and do live projects. Uh,
Good, good, good. Lovely to hear that. So,
and
boys, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I have
Yes,
read.
sir.
Vignesh, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Wings of Fire, an autobiography by APJ Abdul Kalam with Arun Tiwari. Okay. We will start from the introduction page. Okay, that's page 7 of the PDF, and we will start from there. Did you all get it?
Yes, sir, I am opening it.
I think you're all ready.
Yes, sir. Ready, sir.
Okay, wonderful. This book is being released at a time when India's technological endeavors to assert its sovereignty and strength, its security, are questioned by many in the world. Historically, people have always fought amongst themselves on one issue or another. Prehistorically, battles were fought over food and shelter. With the passage of time, wars were waged over religious and ideological beliefs. And now the dominant struggle of sophisticated warfare is for economic and technological supremacy. Consequently, economic and technological supremacy is equated with political power and world control. A few nations who have grown very strong technologically over the past few centuries have wrested control for their own purposes. These major powers have become the self proclaimed leaders of the New World Order. What does a country of 1 billion people like India do in such a situation? We have no option but to be technologically strong. But can India be a leader in the field of technology? My answer is an emphatic yes. And let me validate my answer by narrating some incidents from my life. When I first began the reminiscence that have gone into this book, I was uncertain about which of my memories were worth narrating or were of any relevance at all. My childhood is precious to me, but would it be of interest to anyone else? Was it worth the reader's while? I wondered to know what the tribulations and triumphs of a small town boy, of the straitened circumstances of my school days, the odd jobs I did to pay my school fees, and how my decision to become a vegetarian was partly due to my financial constraints as a college student. Why should these be of any interest to the general public? In the end, I was convinced that these were relevant, if not for anything else, but because they tell something of the story of modern India as individual destiny and the social matrix in which it embedded cannot be seen in isolation. Having been persuaded of this, it did seem germane to include the accounts of my frustrated attempt to become an Air Force pilot and of how I became, instead of the collector my father dreamt I would be, a rocket engineer. So, here Abdul Kalam sir is talking about his own journey. It's an autobiography nonetheless. So, do you know what an autobiography means, Ajay?
Uh, yeah, autobiography means by uh, self describing for not getting some words.
Correct. What you're saying is exactly like that. Self describing your own life.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So, if you write about your own life, and generally, when people are a little famous or they think they can do some outreach, they write an autobiography.
Yes,
So,
sir.
that is called an autobiography. Auto means own.
One.
And biography is when someone else writes about your life.
Yes, sir.
So, he's saying that. So, it's amazing to see the humility of this person. He is saying he is at the time when he's writing, I think he's the president of the country. And because of him, we even have a space mission today. India is
Yes.
literally, Elon Musk said this, that India is going to become a superpower because of its space presence.
Yes.
So he was the first one to start the space program with just a handful of people, very limited resources. So he's already accomplished a lot. And he's so humble that he's saying that, "Hmm, maybe my life is not worth telling to people. Is it something that special? He's saying, narrating this, he's not trying to say, okay, what will I get? But he's saying, the reader, what impact will it have on their life? Can their life improve? So let us see what else is he trying to tell us. Finally, I decided to describe the individuals who had a profound influence on my life. This book is also, by the way, a submission of thanks. Therefore, to my parents and immediate family, and to the teachers and preceptors I was fortunate to have had. I'll say it again. This book is also by a way of submission of thanks. Therefore, to my parents and immediate family, and to the teachers and preceptors I was fortunate enough to have, both as a student and in my professional life. It is also a tribute to the unflagging enthusiasm and efforts of my young colleagues who helped to realize our collective dreams.
Yes, sir.
The famous words of Isaac Newton about standing on the shoulders of giants are valid for every scientist, and I certainly owe a great debt of knowledge and inspiration to the distinguished lineage of Indian scientists that included Vikram Sarabhai, Satish Dhawan, and Brahm Prakash.
Brahm Prakash.
They played major roles in my life and in the story of Indian science.
Science.
Ajay, could you mute it, please?
Muted. Okay.
Thank you. It's very touching because I think at least I am doing an Indian book for the first time, and uh, I think it's quite touching for me to read about the progress of my country, where we reached, and I regard Dr. Abdul Kalam in high regard for all his contributions. So this is very exciting. I completed 60 years of age on 15th October 1991. I had decided to devote my entire retirement to fulfilling what I saw as my duties in the sphere of social service. Instead, two things happened simultaneously. First, I agreed to continue in government service for another 3 years. And next, a young colleague, Arun Tiwari, requested me to share my reminiscences. Reminiscences. Yeah, means memories basically. Requested me to share my reminiscences with him so that he could record them. He was someone who has been working in my laboratory since 1982, but I had never really known him well until the February of 1987 when I visited him at the intensive coronary care unit of the Nizam's Institute of Medical Sciences in Hyderabad. He was a mere 32 years old, but was fighting valiantly for his life. I asked him if there was anything he wanted me to do for him. Give me your blessings, sir, he said, so that I may have a longer life and can complete at least one of your projects. The young man's dedication moved me, and I prayed for his recovery all night. The Lord answered my prayers, and Tiwari was able to get back to work in a month. He did an excellent job in helping to realize the Akash missile airframe from scratch within the short span of 3 years. He then took up the task of chronicling my story. Chronicling means putting things in a chronological order, essentially writing the story from start to end, in simple words. So, Mr. Tiwari wrote APJ Abdul Kalam's story from start to end. He was on his deathbed. That's what he's saying. Tiwari was on his deathbed, and Abdul Kalam prayed for him that I just hope he recovers. And he did. And he's using a missile which I think is still in use even today. It was made in the 1980s and 90s. Even today, all 30 years hence, it is in use. So I think we owe a lot to these people. He also went through my personal library meticulously and selected among the pieces of poetry those that I had marked while reading and included them in the text. This story is an account, I hope, not just of my personal triumphs. Triumphs means victories. So he's saying, this is not just for glorification of my own self. Triumphs and tribulations. Tribulations is like, small, small victories. He has done really big, big things, but he says tribulations. Okay, sorry. Tribulations. But of the success and setbacks of the science establishment in modern India, struggling to establish self in the technological forefront. So they're talking about the scientific establishment of the entire country. It is the story of national aspiration and of cooperative endeavor. And as I see it, the saga of India's search for scientific self sufficiency and technological competence is a parable for our times. Each individual creature on this beautiful planet is created by God to fulfill a particular role. Whatever I have achieved in life is through His help and an expression of His will. He showered His grace on me through some outstanding teachers and colleagues. And when I pay my tributes to these fine persons, I am merely praising His glory. All these rockets and missiles are His work through a small person called Kalam, in order to tell the several million masses of India to never feel small or helpless. We are all born with a divine fire in us. Our efforts should be to give wings to this fire and fill the world with the glow of its goodness. May God bless you. Touching an Indian who lived and worked for the country. Welcome, Kriti. So, Vignesh, what do you think of the introduction so far? What do you think it tells us? And yes, Vignesh, could you unmute, please?
Yes, sir.
Uh, were you able to follow some of the introduction?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. What did you like from the introduction, or what did you learn, or something that you would like to share from it?
Yes, sir.
Any, it doesn't
Yeah,
have
the
to be
great.
right or wrong, but anything, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Garu has wrote this book at a crucial time when then like when our India's technological cover is under global scrutiny or like that. And the I really like it the way the Abdul Kalam sir believed that the we India as a country can be leader in technology like that, because at that time
Right.
it's very great to believe the future potential of country and like that.
Right. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And what did you said what you liked about it? Did something inspire you? Did you feel something with it?
Sir?
Did you feel inspired by reading that one paragraph?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you share what you felt inspired by?
So like we should always believe in ourselves and we should say competitive. It's important to believe in your potential mainly.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vignesh. That is a really good summary, and yeah, that is a really good learning, that to believe in yourself, that you are that divine spark, as he says in the book, that you're not meant to be helpless and sorry and sad in life, but to be joyous and prosperous and successful. That is what life is meant for. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, sir.
Kriti Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi Kriti.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much for joining, and it's nice to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Uh, I know you may not have gotten a chance to hear the entire thing, but how much
Yes,
ever
sir.
you heard, would you like to share your views on that? Maybe something you liked, or something inspired you, or even if it didn't like or don't agree with something. would
Actually,
you-
the thing is, I couldn't get to know, sir, because I joined in between.
Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem. We'll do one more round of reading, and then in that time you will have an idea. But
Okay.
I'll give you a brief. Essentially, Abdul Kalam sir is explaining why he wrote this book, what is the reason why he wrote this autobiography, and what are the chain of events which occurred in his life to write this. And in the end, he said that the whole idea of writing this book, I had actually seen an interview which he gave, and he said that this book is for the youth of this country. He said that it is for transforming the lives of the youth. And he gave, at that time, actually, this was in the year 2000, he gave a vision 2020, that where India should reach in 2020. And it was such a big thing that India should be a developed country, other countries should respect India, and many reasons he gave for that. So that is the whole context of the book. And let's see some more as we go ahead. Thank you,
Okay,
Kriti.
sir.
Starting with orientation, 1931 to 1963. This is a hymn from the Atharva Veda, which is one of the four major Vedas in Indian culture, and it's hymn 16. This earth is his. To him belong those vast and boundless skies. Both seas within him rest, and yet in that small pool he lies. So this is poetry. Here, him and his refers to God, right? So the capital H, whenever you see a capital H like this, it generally refers to a divine being, to God, essentially. And I'll not tell you what this poem means. You can do one thing, you can think about it probably, and maybe at the end of the class, you can let me know what you think. It's a little cryptic, little, twisting, but it's interesting. Think about it. Okay, continuing forward. I was born in a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father, Jainulabdin, my father, Jainulabdin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these disadvantages, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyama. He, excuse me, he had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiyama. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. That's a big thing. Every day, even though they were not very rich, they fed more people outside their family than the people in their family. My parents were widely regarded as an ideal couple. My mother's lineage was the more distinguished, one of her forebears having been bestowed by the title of Bahadur by the British. Bahadur means brave. Forebears is like essentially ancestors. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks. Undistinguished means no prominent features, or like he doesn't think that he was very handsome and things like normal. Born to tall and handsome parents. So now he says it's a contrast. My parents were tall and good looking, but I was not good looking. We lived in our ancestral house, which was made in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large Pakka house made of, I don't know if it's Pakka or Puka, I don't know if that's a material, but okay, made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father, austere means, I think, strict, like someone who's a little strict with certain practices. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both, both materially and emotionally. So essentially, his father is like, you will not get iPhone 16 Pro, but you will get food, you will get good books to read, and whatever you need in life as a human being to survive with dignity, you will get that, but no iPhone 16s. Definitely no iPhone 16 Pro Max. I normally ate with my mother sitting on the floor of the kitchen. She would place a banana leaf before me, on which she then ladled rice and aromatic sambar, a variety of sharp homemade pickles, and a dollop of fresh coconut chutney. So why it's called ladled rice? Because the spoon, right? A ladle is like a wooden spoon. So they might be using that. So I think that's why he's used the word ladled. It comes from the noun ladle, which is nothing but a wooden spoon, and you took some of it and you put it. And it's a South Indian tradition generally, I think, to eat on a banana leaf. So regularly he's saying that they would eat like that. The famous the famous Shiva temple, which made Rameshwaram so sacred to pilgrims, was about a 10-minute walk from our house. Our locality was predominantly Muslim, but there were quite a few Hindu families too, living amicably with their Muslim neighbors. So he's saying that Hindu Muslims were living in peace where he is staying from. There was a very old mosque in our locality where my father would take me for evening prayers. I had not the faintest idea of the meaning of the Arabic prayers chanted, but I was totally convinced that they reached God. So innocent. Just see the innocence of a child. He's saying, I don't have any idea what I'm saying, but he had that faith that whatever he's saying, whichever language, it will reach them. When my father came out of the mosque after the prayers, people of different religions would be sitting outside waiting for him. Many of them offered bowls of water to my father, who would dip his fingertips in them and say a prayer. This water was then carried home for invalids. I also remember people visiting a home to offer thanks after being cured. My father always smiled, and asked them to thank Allah, the benevolent and merciful. So his father, there are many people in this world who do this kind of healing, and his father had the ability to heal people according to him. And yeah, there is a real science behind it actually. And there are a lot of people, like Reiki, if you've heard of, there are a lot of people who can learn and practice that today. And pranic healing is there. So I think that is what his father was doing. And he's very humble. He's saying his father's very humble. And he said that, please thank Allah, please thank God. And he's the one who does everything. Don't don't praise me so much. So he's talking about his childhood, he's talking about his upbringing and his family. In particular, he's talking about his father. The high priest of Rameshwaram temple, Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, was a very close friend of my father's. One of the most vivid memories, vivid means like very clear, like I remember it perfectly, very clear memories of my early childhood is of the two men, each in his traditional attire, discussing spiritual matters. When I was old enough to ask questions, I asked my father about the relevance of prayer. My father told me there was nothing mysterious about prayer. Rather, prayer made possible a communion of the spirit between people. When you pray, he said, you transcend your body and become a part of the cosmos, which knows no division of wealth, age, caste, or creed. It is such a beautiful line, and I think really applicable in all times, really, specifically today's times. I'll just read that line again, if that's okay. When you pray, he said, you transcend your body and become a part of the cosmos, which knows no division of wealth, age, caste, or creed. My father could convey complex spiritual concepts in very simple, down to earth Tamil. He once told me, in his own time, in his own place, in what he really is, and in the stage he has reached, good or bad, every human being is a specific element within the whole of the manifest divine being. So, why be afraid of difficulties, sufferings, and problems? When trouble comes, try to understand the relevance of your sufferings. Adversity always presents opportunities for introspection. This really do note it down. Adversity means difficult situations of life. That is what adversity means. It could be a difficult situation of an exam. It could be a financially difficult situation. It could be a difficult situation at a job, of getting a job, after getting a job, with a family, anything. So he's saying when trouble comes, try to understand the relevance of your sufferings. What he's trying to say is we are not even a speck in this universe. If you go and see on YouTube, you might have seen sometimes the entire earth is not even a tiny speck in the whole solar system. In that, we are nobody. And in that, your particular suffering, just imagine what place does it have in the entire universe? It's so small, yet we give it so much importance and we suffer so much because of it. So he says, difficult situations are always an opportunity for introspection to think, how can I improve? How can I learn from this? How can I become better? How can I give more to society? What is my learning lesson here? Instead of becoming dejected and depressed and sad, oh, why this happened to me? Why this happened to me? Why don't you say this to the people who come to you for help and advice? I asked my father. He put his hands on my shoulders and looked straight into my eyes. For some time, he said nothing, as if he was judging my capacity to comprehend his words. Then he answered in a low, deep voice. His answer filled me with a strange energy and enthusiasm. Whenever human beings find themselves alone, as a natural reaction, they start looking for company. Whenever they are in trouble, they look for someone to help them. Whenever they reach an impasse means you cannot go ahead further, they look to someone to show them the way out. Every recurrent anguish means uh, trouble which comes again and again, some issue which comes again and again in your life. Every recurrent anguish, longing, and desire finds its own special helper. For the people who come to me in distress, I am but a go between in their efforts to propitiate demonic forces with prayers and offerings. This is not a correct approach at all and should never be followed. One must understand the difference between a fear ridden vision of destiny and the vision that enables us to seek the enemy of fulfillment within ourselves. I remember my father. If you find it a little confusing, all he's saying is help people, those who come to ask for it, in a sense. Someone asks help from you. If you can, if it's within your capacity, help them. If not, guide them to someone who can help them. And if not, just wish them the very best. Say that I can't help you in your particular situation, but I wish you the very best. I remember my father starting his day at 4 a.m. by reading the namaz before dawn. After the namaz are the morning prayers which Muslims do. He used to walk down to a small coconut grove we owned about 4 miles from our home. He would return with about a dozen coconuts tied together, thrown over his shoulder, and only then would he have his breakfast. This remained his routine even when he was in his late 60s. So, all of you are young, about a dozen means 10 to 12 coconuts he would carry on his shoulder. And then, can you all carry 10 to 12 coconuts at your age? He used to do it till he was almost 70 years old. I have, throughout my life, tried to emulate my father in my own world of science and technology. I have endeavored means put in genuine effort. I have endeavored to understand the fundamental truths revealed to me by my father and feel convinced that there exists a divine power that can lift one up from confusion, misery, melancholy means sadness, and failure, and guide one to one's true place. One means a person, any person, and can guide any person to their true place, which their true place is in their heart, the that which they know is right for them in the heart. And once an individual severs his emotional and physical bondage, he is on the road to freedom, happiness, and peace of mind. I was about 6 years old when my father embarked on the project of building a wooden sailboat to take pilgrims from Rameshwaram to, Dhanuskodi, which is also called Sethukkarai. So Dhanuskodi or Sethukkarai and back. He worked at building the boat on the seashore with the help of a relative, Ahmad Jalaluddin, who later married my sister, Zohara. I watched the boat take shape. The wooden hull and bulkheads were seasoned with the heat from wood fires. My father was doing good business with the boat when, one day, a cyclone bringing wind of over 100 miles per hour carried away a boat along with some of the landmass of Setukarai. The Pamban bridge collapsed with a train full of passengers on it. Until then, I had only seen the beauty of the sea. Now, its uncontrollable energy came as a revelation to me. Okay. I'd like you all to take a minute.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Kriti, hi, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
What uh what did you think? Can you uh share with us some of your thoughts?
Sir, actually now I understood like uh, APJ Abdul Kalam's father. He he was a very like what to say, sir?
Say, no problem. Say whatever you think of. Say whichever word you know. Very what?
He was a, like their parents. They were very ideal couple, and
No, you were
like
saying
his
about the
father.
father, he was a very what? Okay, say in your
Uh,
native language. You know Hindi?
हाँ सर, लाइक अब्दुल कलाम के पापा एक बहुत ही आडंबरहीन व्यक्ति थे।
हाँ, कौन से व्यक्ति थे?
आडंबरहीन, आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू से इन
धार्मिक
इंग्लिश।
आप कह रहे हैं?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, ये सब।
Okay.
और
So
मतलब मैंने ये चैप्टर पढ़ा
Austere is
था।
Adambarheen. Austere is Adambarheen.
Austere, okay. That much Hindi even I don't know. I still have to learn from
एक्चुअली
you.
मैंने ये
Okay,
चैप्टर
so
मेरे
one minute, एक मिनट
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट विनीत। आडंबरहीन का मतलब होता है कि जो बहुत शोर शाह वाला आदमी नहीं होए, लाइक वेरी सिंपल मैन।
Okay. Thank you for that. So now we'll try and say it in English. Uh, Abdul Kalam's father was a very straightforward person. That is the correct word.
यस सर।
So no, you tell.
और shall I continue in Hindi
No,
or
no, in English, but say this line: a straightforward person. Adambari means straightforward. Straightforward
yes sir.
means like no fuss, no muss, no time pass, no bullshit. Simple person. Or you can say he was a very simple man. Okay, if that's a difficult word, say he was a very simple person. That's okay.
Okay, sir. So Abdul Kalam's father, he was a very straightforward person.
Straightforward, not forwarded.
Straightforward. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
he was not an
Straightforward.
email. He could not be forwarded.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, please continue.
And then like he used to help everyone.
Okay.
Then uh,
You're saying something
one more,
about the ideal couple. Now you can say that point if you like.
yeah, sir. Abdul Kalam's mother and father, they were like ideal couple. And one more thing I would like to tell in Hindi. Can I
Mm,
say?
try it in English, then we'll see. This is an English. Try, no, we'll help you, no problem. So if you don't get some word, say that word only in Hindi, and then I'll tell you the English word for it.
Like
At
he
least
he mentioned, no, sir. Like when we read a namaz, we go to some casmos. There, like we don't have a difference of our caste, religion, everything.
cosmos. Cosmos means universe.
Brahmand,
Correct,
yes. In Hindi,
correct,
I know, sir. Brahmand.
correct, correct. So it means universe. Universe, have you heard
Yeah.
of?
Yes, sir.
So cosmos and universe is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue, please.
So there is no difference of religion, caste, and there everyone are almost similar to everyone.
Correct. So
Yeah.
that's the point which you liked.
Yeah, sir.
So it's not that everyone is almost civil. He said that um, in the bigger picture of things, all humans are equal.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Essentially, what he's trying to say
Mm.
is that don't put anyone down or don't discriminate between anyone because of their gender or age or religion, etc.
Yes, sir.
Now you say, I don't know English. You say, come on.
Uh,
And I'll help you know. See, I said this line, you say this, that all beings are equal, irrespective of the gender, caste, creed.
all beings are equal in respective of their caste,
Irrespective means, uh,
respective.
uh, you know, फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि उनका
हाँ,
कुछ भी irrespective मतलब फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि उनका धर्म क्या है. So irrespective of their caste or creed, they are equal.
And the financial standing.
And financial standing. Yeah, many of the points which he said. So could you please say that again? Don't
all
worry.
beings are
Yeah, you have to
equal.
learn. Don't be so stressed. Arey, we are not like going to punish you or scold you or anything like that. Why are you so worried? Yeah, you have to learn only, no? So what if you are we charging you money if you make a mistake? Do you have to pay 1,000 rupees for every mistake? Don't worry so much. It's okay. Make a mistake. What's the big deal? You will learn. Make 10 mistakes. Make 100 mistakes if you want. No problem. Keep trying. Okay? Don't be scared of trying. If you don't make mistakes, how will you learn? Making mistakes is not bad. Making mistakes is accepting that you're willing to learn. Okay? Please try.
So all beings are equal, irrespective to their caste, religion.
Perfect. Take care. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Ajay, would you like to share some other points for the next paragraph?
Sir, I am really want to share about the Abdul Kalam ji, sir, and father and family bonding is in every middle class is there commonly for is, he being father commitments and what he do.
Okay. So let's go back to the sentence. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Take a minute. Relax.
Okay, sir.
Think of what you want to say exactly. And now say that sentence only. Like say it like a proper sentence.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what is the first point that you want to say? I know you have a lot of very nice ideas to share,
Yes, sir.
but let's share them one sentence at a time.
Okay, sir. I have
Okay.
written. Can I see and say, sir?
Yeah. Please.
Sir, this story was related to the every middle class by bonding of family.
Related, nahi, relatable. Are you trying
Relatable.
to
Okay, sir.
relatable?
Okay, sir.
Relatable means, like, oh, I feel okay. This is my story.
Okay,
That's
sir.
what you're trying to say, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay.
Related means I am related to my brother. That is
Okay, sir.
relation.
Okay, sir. It's
Relatable means, oh, I feel it is like mine.
yes,
That
sir.
is relatable.
this story was relatable. Our
Is
middle class
relatable
is
because the story
relatable.
is still going on.
Yes, sir. This story is relatable to our middle class members or some. And
Yeah, say the whole sentence properly. Don't be scared. Like I said, no, you're getting scared. Okay, you're going to say something wrong and then you just stop talking. Don't be scared. So what if you say something wrong? Like, just so what? What is the big deal?
okay,
When we are learning something, we will
okay.
make mistakes because you are not God. If you already knew so much, you would be here and I would be there learning from you. Means I can still learn from you many things. But my point is ki don't be afraid of making mistakes. Okay, say the sentence again, please.
This story was relatable to every middle class members, and the Abdul Kalam ji sir was father and bonding and mother bonding is very nice to hear from that story, sir. And where I liked one word is like one word, when you pray, he said you transcend your body and become a part of the cosmos. That I really like that line, sir. And where then problems he is facing and that not getting, sir.
No problem. Relax, relax. It's okay. You did really good.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
really, really good. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes,
Uh,
and he is living the situations and he understanding what the problems in getting in my family, and he is facing some problems and understanding.
so now slow.
Slow, okay, sir.
So he is living the situation means what? He
Means facing current situation of the family problems.
so maybe explain it a little. What you're saying is correct. Okay, I understand what you're saying in your heart, but try and put some more words into it. I think we're just out of time. It will
Okay.
close now in a minute, but try and put more words into it. Okay, describe it a little more. So you have written down some words and some words you have kept in your head. So the other person is not understanding fully what you are saying. Okay, write down everything that you are thinking in the words. And if you don't get the word, Google it. Okay, what is the word? You can Google it in your mother tongue also and convert it into English and then write it down again. Okay.
Currently
Okay.
forgot some sentences. So nervous.
Relax. It's okay. Chill. Okay. Thank you all for joining in. That's all for today. We don't have more time.
Thank you, Vineet. Thank you so
Thank you,
much, all
sir.
of you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
In next time, I will make sure that talk more.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, Ja, best of luck. Best of luck, Riti. Best of luck, Vignesh. And thank you. Nice seeing you again, Saranjit, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
for
you so much. We needed tried hearing you after such a long time.
yeah, thank you.